Hello, welcome back to Sparrow Binges. Today's recommendations are really exciting, intriguing. The format itself is so diverse and engaging that it doesn't matter what age you are or how you're feeling. We will be looking at animation in today's episode. Today's selection is for when you want to witness the wonders of animation and give into fantasies. I want to begin today's episode by recommending Tokri, an Indian stop-motion animation film directed by Suresh Eriad, produced by Studio Ixorus. The film was released in 2017 and it also won the National Award for the Best Animation Film. It has a total number of 23 awards and 56 official film selections. It was received with immense love from all over the globe. Also, a fact about stop motion, a normal output is about 2 seconds per day, and this is almost a 15-minute clay animation. You can find more such information about the film, its process, its making, behind the scene, production, ideation on Ixorus' website. Currently, you can stream the film on Shot of the Week. Tokri is a stunning masterpiece telling the tale of a father and daughter, tying them with unsaid words, emotions, and more importantly, highlighting that sometimes actions do speak louder than words. You would be mesmerized by every little movement in the film, and I would do injustice here if I don't mention the fact that from its inception to getting together a team and eventually just time passing by, it took 8 years to make this film, and every second of this short film will evoke a sense of empathy and just push you to observe, imagine. The story is set in Mumbai and centers around the strive of a young daughter trying to mend things with her father. A small mishap in the narrative leads to moments of tension in the film, but just seeing the daughter go through lens to bring a smile to her father's face warms our heart. There's a particular circumstance in the film which quite a few of us might be familiar with, but what follows after and how the narrative is taken forward is so thought-provoking. It makes us reflect, meander through our own memories, and there's a sense of regret and guilt which comes to the forefront. The creation of a home, neighborhood, city, soundscape makes us feel so involved in the film and just feel as if we are in that moment. The film talks about family, memories, prized possessions, empathy, and just how love builds every day within small moments. There's so much grandeur in the film, the moments it creates, and the sheer effort to express love. All of it is tied so seamlessly that all the emotions sink in and you feel overwhelmed by the end of it. Tokri is a brilliant piece in visual storytelling. I urge you to watch this film and savor what it does. Up next, we have Over the Moon, an October 2020 release directed by Glenn Keane, produced by Netflix and Pearl Studios. I would also push you to read up on Audrey Wells, why she chose to write this particular screenplay and to whom the film is now dedicated to. You can currently watch the film on Netflix. Over the Moon taps into Chinese folklore, myths, thereby setting ground to talk about oral traditions, festivals, magic, spells, and all that looks and feels surreal. The film begins with giving the audience an introduction into the tale of the moon festivals, the myths around the phases of the moon, and of course the myths surrounding goddess Chang'e, her one true love Hoi, and their separation. We have Feifei voiced by Kathy Ang, Baba voiced by John Cho, and Mama voiced by Ruthie Ann Miles. The first few minutes of the narrative give us a glimpse into how content, happy the family of three are. We also get to see how Feifei's belief in goddess Chang'e is built over the years, and also her notion of everlasting love. We also have Bunji, who is Feifei's pet rabbit. All these moments make us feel empathetic towards Feifei and prepare us for the grief which is to follow after the passing away of Mama. A certain tension and a child's angst is portrayed when Baba tries introducing Mrs. Zhong, voiced by Sandra Oh, to Feifei. She's confused, bewildered, angry as to how love could look and feel different and be replaced for her father. We see how a child is determined to prove her faith in the notion of one true love and restate the same fact to her father. We also have Robert G as Chin, Feifei's stepbrother, Mrs. Zhong's son, who has this fun, energetic persona. He wants to be accepted by Feifei, welcomed into his new family. He literally breaks barriers. The adventure in the film takes us to the mystical land of Lunaria, where we see a myriad of colors, mystical creatures, bike riding chickens, mooncakes, a glowy worm named Gobi, and of course, Jade the rabbit, who plays a monumental role in the panning out of the tale. When Feifei finally sees Chang'e, she's quite confused and a bit taken aback, as she's not what Feifei had imagined her to be. The screen is lit up with these bright colors, the landscape feels electric, and for our viewers who watch the Disney movies Inside Out and Frozen in particular, you would be able to draw parallels as to how the film reaches a resolution of sorts and the importance of characters like Gobi, Bunji, and Jade. The film taps into the emotions of grief, loss, and how it truly changes a person, but also tries to put forth the fact that a whole lot of love still remains in the presence. The essence of people gone by remains. There is still so much to look out for. Love could look different, feel different, change shape, but is still present, and that is a gift. The next two suggestions are animated features from Studio Ghibli, both written and directed by Hayao Miyazaki, who is one of the three founding members of Studio Ghibli along with Isao Takahata and Toshio Suzuki. I would also like to point out that the authentic Japanese pronunciation is Studio Ghibli, but given my inaccuracy of Japanese, I would like to turn towards the more anglicized version of the pronunciation, which is Studio Ghibli. For our viewers who have not seen Studio Ghibli's work or Miyazaki's work before, our upcoming suggestions are a perfect start to witness their brilliant storytelling. Diving right into our third suggestion, we have Spirited Away, a 2001 Japanese animated fantasy film written and directed by Hayao Miyazaki, as mentioned earlier. The film was received with immense love through the globe, was praised by the critics, and received a host of awards, among which was the Academy Award for the Best Animated Feature Film at the 75th Academy Awards, making it the first hand-drawn non-English language film to win. You can currently watch the film on Netflix. The film opens up with Chihiro, voiced by Rumi Hiragi, who is visibly sad and upset about leaving her hometown and shifting to a new place, and her parents are trying to make her feel good about the change and trying to cheer her up. Along the journey and as the family travels, we see the change in landscape and also sense a forthcoming danger in the narrative. A shift takes place when they chance upon a tunnel and curiosity leads to a grave mishap. Chihiro is hesitant, suspicious about the tunnel, and also just doesn't have a good feeling about the deserted place which her parents are exploring and the temptation which they are giving into. As the night falls, the deserted place transforms into this magical land, and there are mystical creatures, beings which Chihiro has never seen before, and we as the audience are also bewildered and just taking the magic in seeing all of it unfold. Chihiro is overwhelmed, confused, exhausted, lost, and just wants her parents back. And it's here when she first meets Master Haku. Haku is voiced by Miyu Irino. As the film moves along, we see how Chihiro is trying to adapt to the new surroundings, new rules of the new world controlled by the sorceress Yubaba, voiced by Mari Natsuki. It's so surprising to see the changes in Chihiro while she's trying to fit in and explore this magical surreal land while befriending people like Lin and Yamaji. Through all this, she keeps her identity and her name intact, the significance of which would come to light with the building up of the narrative. all along she is motivated and determined to get her parents back, who have now transformed into, I would of course not spell it out for you, but you should see it for the tender moment and beautifully crafted scene as to how she finds them and is able to identify them. There are such pure moments of love, faith, courage, determination, and also scenes which depict the ills of humankind. Haku and Chihiro's relationship is symbolic of kindness and memory in a way. We are reminded of selflessness and pure innocence when we see their scenes together. The animation is surreal, bringing every movement, action, pause to life. Words will not do justice to its value. The end of the film is heartwarming and almost surreal, like waking up from a dream. Please do check out this film. Coming to our last suggestion for today's episode, we have My Neighbor Totoro, Another Wonder from Studio Ghibli, a 1988 Japanese animated fantasy film written and directed by Hayao Miyazaki, as mentioned earlier. You can currently stream it on Netflix. The film is a beautiful tale of 10-year-old Satsuki and her 4-year-old sister Mei, who move into an old house into Japan's countryside with their father. The move is because they want to situate themselves near to their mother, who is recovering from an undisclosed illness at the hospital. It is during this stay that they explore the new surroundings and encounter friendly, magical forest spirits. Mei is voiced by Chika Sakamoto and Satsuki is voiced by Noriko Hidaka. Mei embodies a certain curiosity and innocence of childhood, and Satsuki is always seen guiding her younger sister, helping her out, supporting her. Both of them are navigating their way and coping through their new life in the absence of their mother and just hoping for her speedy recovery. It was so refreshing and heartwarming to see the character of the father, who's such a positive influence. And there are conversations about illness, death, ghosts, and he's seen talking to them in a very different manner, which is not very common to see in films, especially with children in context. There are surreal and fantastical elements like the cat bus, Totoro, forest spirits, which are shown in the film. For me, the film spoke of the importance of nature, magic, and curiosity which is within us. It was also a reminder of how children see the world which we inhabit. There is a presence of abundance, love, kindness in the film, and also seeing children as like active agents of change and seeing the whole genre of fantasy in a different light. The film provides an access to all things surreal, magical, but everything is at a very justified pace, and it's just wonderful to see how the narrative progresses. You can't help but marvel at the animation, the visuals which entice you, invite you along for adventure. The film also sheds light on the different perspective of how we see magical creatures and how we respond to unknown elements around us. The film is magical, surreal, it speaks volumes with the smallest of actions and captivating dialogues. I really hope you check this film out. This brings us to the end of today's episode. I hope you liked our suggestions. Please do watch them. Thank you. If you liked this video, please do hit the bell icon, subscribe to The Red Sparrow, and never miss out on interesting curations.